What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to Tropico 5. My name is Splattercat, and I'm happy to have you here as we play another episode of this lovely little civilization manager, which I'm apparently losing my grip on. I don't know. I'm doing poorly right now, and so we need to fix things. We need to make people happier, and we need a Teamsters unions. That's how we had locked off our last episode, is because we were lacking like 7 Teamsters unions. And so we'll put one in right there. Basically, I want to look at all the areas where there might conceivably be a lot of goods that are just kind of sitting around. Okay, so they have one right there. The protests are still going crazy style. They can protest all that they want. That's okay. I think it's largely due to the fact that we haven't been giving them food lately, and so they're kind of doing this thing that a goldfish might do had it the capacity to do so, where essentially, you know how your goldfish like floats belly up when you forget to feed it? Well, they're right before that. What is this? The grocery has no road attached to it. Of course it doesn't. I hate that bug. We'll rebuild it. It'll be okay. And on this side, we've got to decide what we want to do with the remainder of all this stuff. But anyways, let's get time running again. And I'm probably going to do a few more plantations out here, just to see if we can make a bit more cash, because we haven't really been expanding very well. I should probably also come up with some new ideas for production buildings, because my guess is that we probably can manage a few more canneries and whatnot right now. So I think I'll start with that. We'll go to our... We did take the time to research the vehicle factory, and we could do that. Are we even growing cocoa? How much cocoa are we growing right now for me to do a cocoa factory? Let me take a look at my raw resources here. We've got corn, pineapples, banana. We got 4 cocoa plantations. Okay, so that's possible. That's definitely something that we could keep on the list, although we've got to wait for our power situation to be resolved before we can do much else. Let me pause the game for a moment. We'll try and figure out for a few minutes what we can do here. So with regards to our trade, is this just like not happening, or do I need more ships? Okay, we're bringing in quite a bit. I might be bringing in too much natural gas now, would be the other part that I'd be worried about. I guess that I could... Let's see. There's a building in here somewhere that there's like a dry dock or something like that that I haven't built yet, I don't think. Forget where it's at. It's in here somewhere. Unless it was only specifically for the last time period. Well, whatever we do. I'm going to go ahead and build a few more docks, because obviously our power imports are not at the point that they need to be. That'll also supply us with a few more jobs, which has been one of our preliminary concerns since we started this playthrough. I'm going to drop a metro station in over here to help with transit. I would also consider, there's a parking lot there. I'll drop another metro station over here. And maybe a further metro station out here on the corner, just to make sure that groups of people are working, and also to make sure that people can get around. I don't know how well the metros all work, but it will possibly cause a power shortage. Well, it's going to have to deal with that. I wish that we had wind power right about now. I seem to remember wind power being a thing that we were able to make in previous games, but I don't see it in any of the lists. I have gone through and I have looked, but it just doesn't appear to be possible. I don't know. I just don't know right now. We're going to get another autosave off right there. And at the moment, we're just going to have to sit tight. 5 new citizens arrived, so we're not doing very well right now. We could be doing better, but...
Presidente, we have discovered the internet. It was in the palace basement for who knows how many years. It seemed to work okay after I blew the layers of dust off it. For some reason, it seems to be full of cat pictures. And pictures of nude ladies and gentlemen, which I have taken to my office for further study.
For science! Okay, and so we've got new edicts. We've got IT education, free Wi-Fi, and e-government. I don't really know how that helps us. We'll look at it in just a moment. Let's go for... Let's go for hot water. No, we'll go for small print. Then we'll go for those, I guess. Okay, so we're exporting again. Things appear to be getting at least a little bit better in our neck of the woods. We'll go ahead and give people better dock workers jobs, and then we'll start importing more stuff that we need. I kind of feel like I'm missing out on information right here that would make my life a little bit easier. However, we are going to have to expand our production a little bit further as well if we want this to work out the way that we want it to. There we go. Finish that thing off. Okay, and so this is here. Let's go back to our trade menu. We've got 2 more ships now. I could put a couple people on coal. So we'll add a couple ships to coal. We've got 3 that are on natural gas. We've got 2 that are on coal. We've got 1 on uranium. And we've got canned goods going out. So we're not exporting a whole lot right now aside from just kind of generic goods. However, what we might consider... God, we really, really, really need to get our power back online. And I think that's the issue, is it's the coal. I think they're all running kind of at half-mast right now because we're only using natural gas. Can I confine? I wish I could convert that over entirely to natural gas, but I have no idea how electrical systems work, so maybe it needs both, I guess, in order to move the turbines. Wait for the imports to come in. This episode's going to be one where we just kind of hang out and wait. We have no power at our metro station due to a rolling blackout. Okay, so until we get rid of our power issues, I'm aware of most of the problems that we're dealing with right now, and we will deal with them slowly. We have high school educated workers right there. We bulldoze that to make our lives a little bit easier. They're probably also going to want healthcare over here somewhere. Where is a hospital at? Did I put a hospital down here? Is that not even like a thing? Okay, so we need a hospital over here too. But we are bottoming out on cash right now. 21 right there, 24, 24, 24. Maybe we're just on the back end of a cycle right now. I don't know. Maybe it'll be okay. It does appear like we have a lot of stuff going outwards, so we'll see what happens. We're also waiting for our imports to come back with our power subsystems, and until we do, actually natural gas appears to be overstocked, and I don't know if that's just accumulation due to the fact that we haven't had coal. But hopefully it'll be okay. Doing a lot of imports right now, which is more than likely what's getting us into trouble. It might almost be worth it just to get rid of this over here since it's not even doing anything for us. We have to wait and see whether the uranium imports are actually doing anything. I would also consider taking one of the ships off natural gas since we have our own natural gas. Maybe adding another one to coal. And then putting another one on uranium, possibly. We'll just see how that flies right there. It probably won't fly very well at all because it's a boat, and those are better known for floating than flying, but we're still going to try out different plans here. I know that one of my big problems in life is that I'm invariable. I don't like to fiddle with things. I like to keep things in a comfortable medium. And so why is that clinic out here all like lonely and just hanging out? It's weird. Oh well. What are you going to do about it sometimes? Add a road right there. Have it be like a little, I don't know. That's not a cul-de-sac, but I don't really know what to call it, so we'll just call it something. Can we get 2 apartment complexes in here? We cannot. We can, however, get 2 in right there, so we'll go ahead and do that. And then we'll put something in between them. I don't know, pillows, whatever. I don't know what they like in between them. Different buildings like different stuff. For example, some like a mojito bar. A mojito bar. Others prefer to have pillows. I mean, buildings are very fickle, but they like to be comfortable. And so we want to make sure that they're not going anywhere, because once your buildings start growing legs and running off all over the place, I feel like it puts you in this weird, strange stage as a culture where you're just like, WTF, mate. Unemployed people. What do we have going on here? Lots of illiterate people that are unemployed, and so that means I need to be expanding rapidly. Now, I need to figure out what goods I can produce with uneducated people, like industry. So almost all of these take high school educated workers. So instead, well, let's just get back to the Teamsters. I mean, we were really thinking about putting in more Teamsters, so I don't necessarily think we're too far off with that idea. We'll put one up here. We can drop in another iron mine. We'll just extend that out so that the iron mine has a road running to it. Are there any other mines out here that I can make use of? Doesn't look like it. We can also go with another construction building. We got the construction office right there. Might be worthwhile to drop another one of these bad boys over here just to make sure that construction gets done when we apply it. Let's continue rolling right there. So we've got 3 more buildings coming in that should all be beneficial to our lower class workers. On this side, geothermal power plants. You get preferential servicing. Geothermal might not be a terrible idea, although it looks like... Oh, that's just our active grid. Okay, well, let's start playing around with geothermal then, since all the other power plants are kind of doing us wrong right now. They're doing us foul. Ah, there's a... Wait, I thought that was a volcano. No, it was just a smokestack behind a mountain. I feel so tremendously foolish right now. It looks as though it requires college-educated people. But if it would save us uranium imports... If it saves us... Oh, God, we're dipping right now. We are dipping hard. Okay, our cash flow is almost into the red. Hopefully some lovely ships will come along and dig us out of this nasty hole in just a moment. Let's go ahead and cut off... Let's cut off uranium imports. And since cash is looking a little bit low, we need to start focusing on export economy. We'll go ahead and demolish this guy right here, since we're going to go ahead and try and make... It hasn't been working for like the last year anyways, so we might as well get rid of it so that our college-educated workers end up at the geothermal plant rather than over there. And so once that's back up and running, maybe things will get a little bit better. Maybe. I can't guarantee anything. Down here, let's go ahead and we'll go to trade, and let's start thinking about exports. God, everybody's angry at us right now. We can export sugar to Russia. We can export iron to the EU. Okay, let's export iron to the EU, since we're not using it anyways. We'll export sugar to Russia. And then the EU should still be in our embassy, right? Let's go ahead and praise them. That'll give us warm relations, which we can then just go back and trade in meat to the EU. And so that should help us make a little bit more cash, at least better top dollar than we were making previously. We are in a spot right now, and I need to fix it. I need to fix it. Although this might be a problem with the fact that I've used the mod, and the game is not balanced for anything past 2,000 civilians, so things could get a little bit weird in here. Where'd my geothermal plant go? People are protesting again. Bastards. It's probably because I forgot to feed them too. Oh well. We gotta wait for our money situation to come out better. And then...
It's so hot outside that I saw...
Okay, so we've got another drought, which is gonna hurt our exports, which is really, really bad. But it looks like we are gonna be recovering very, very shortly, as long as we don't have any major pitfalls. I feel like these ships are not exporting, like, everything. Like, they keep leaving without everything on board. Weird. Like, look how much stuff we have just, like, sitting here, and yet none of it gets exported. How's our power grid doing? Is it doing better yet? God. I don't even know. I suppose we'll wait it out and see. Okay, so we should be dug out of the pit now.
Presidente, look at these big, comforting letters. Obviously they are big because they mean something important. Anything important would surely be written in big, nice-looking letters like these. There is nothing below that.
For those of you that can't see, it says, by reading this, I agree to raise Penultipo's salary by 300%. So we've got our modern things that we could put in fight. So we've got modern constitutional options. We could fight piracy, increases the foreign aid gained from the EU. What else do we have over here? We have a total firewall. Less citizens become rebels. Research is slower. Free internet, research points generation increased by 15%, so I'll probably just stick with fight piracy, since we're a little bit broke right now anyways. And globalization, I have strategic sector, we can raise our top export prices, increases base prices for raw resources by 20%, that might be a good idea. Open borders, manufactured goods, we kind of have a raw material society right now, so I think protectionism is probably the best plan we can go with at the moment, because we are exporting a lot of raw resources. And then energy efficiency, we can go economy first, so factory effectiveness is up, but their pollution is also up. Or we can go zero emissions, and you get a tourism boost. Let's go with energy efficiency. We'll do the best we can with what we have right now, and then we'll put a stamp on it. We'll call it... Oh, okay, so now I've got to go around and supply water to all of these, apparently. Which is very, very expensive, obviously. I'll raise the salaries right there so that we can start producing more power. Luckily, that put our power grid back on the map, so that's really good. If we can get a couple more geothermals, I think we'll be in really amazing shape for our electrical grid.
With the help of my secret.
Okay, and so Penultimo did his secret rain dance, which unfortunately is done in the nude. That's part of the ceremonial mystique of the whole thing, is that you have to do it flapping in the wind. Otherwise, it simply does not work that way. So yeah, I'm seeing a lot of ships here that are not pulling out the resources that they should be. But we should be back in the black very, very shortly. We'll pull an AC/DC in just a second. So like, for example, this ship right here is pulling out nothing. It's just kind of sitting there with the expected revenue at the exact same level that it would normally be at. What's up with that? Oh, those are outputs, that's why. Well, never mind. I'm semi-interested in figuring out what some of this is gonna... We're gonna start bulldozing these extra power plants, though, for sure. And then once we've got rid of the power plants, we can actually cease all of our imports of coal and things like that until we need them for industry. Beyond which point, I think we should be okay. This has been kind of a dull episode, I apologize for that, but we're basically just waiting for things to even out with our cash flow. I suppose they're just full, and there's nothing we could do about that. I guess add more docks is really the only option that I could really suggest. Although they all seem to be... I think they're pulling from the same pool, so... I don't know. Like, what are you loading right here? Like 1,500 milk and that's it? I mean, you've got all this stuff right here. I don't know. Let's take a look at what we're doing right now. We've got those exports going. That's fine. That's all fine and doodly dandy. Remove a ship from coal. And I suppose we'll export more meat to the EU, like make a little bit more money. I mean, I've really got to start swapping things around because I can't conceivably spend too many more episodes just like being broke. I mean, we are a little bit better than we were, but we're still sort of dithering. And I'm extremely concerned about why these freighters... Okay, so he's taking something right there. I don't know if that's an indicator that I just need more ships or what's going on here. I mean, I suppose I could go for one more, like right in here, but it won't let you because it's like on a curve. Ooh, I can do one right there. Awesome. So we'll add one more dock. Our approval rating, I had really wanted to work on that in this episode, but unfortunately we've spent so much time trying to dig ourselves out of a shallow grave right now. We should be recovering very, very soon, so it'll be okay.
The EU will not talk to anyone who does not
okay, so we already have that completed.
the EU call center for diplomatic.
Let's go with financial aid this time, and we'll see what happens. The USA sent us 14 grand. How nice of them. And we're back into the election season again. Let's expand our agriculture on this northern side. What can we grow up here? Not really anything. It's generally just sort of bad for us up here, so we can go for more sugarcane. Which I suppose that I will. Okay, and since we've got the sugarcane all handled now, what else could I grow up here with reasonable efficiency? We can do coffee. Okay, let's do a couple coffee plantations. And I really need to start converting some of this stuff into like hard materials that I can export. Which I think is the other problem that I'm sitting on top of right now. But this should give me enough jobs to get a lot of this uneducated labor taken care of. Because we've got a lot of unemployed people right now. 227, so yeah. We definitely need to get people working here. Is there anything off in this direction? So we can do like a cotton plantation right there. Can still continue out with tobacco. So maybe that's what I'll do. I'll do even more tobacco down in here. Obviously we don't want one right there. Having trouble seeing what's designated at the moment. Okay, and so since we've got all of this out here, it's also a good idea to go for a cannery or something of that nature. Only a couple of, I mean, most of what we have is grade school and illiterate, so we should be okay here. Once these are all up and running, we should see a whole lot more people getting to work. Increase the budgets as necessary. And once these all get done, the people are going to want places to live over here, and they're also going to want healthcare. So let's go to welfare. We'll put in a clinic down here. We will also... I mean, we still have our nuclear program, but it's off the grid, which is... mediocre. Not the hugest deal. I mean, whatever. It's not something that I have the time or the effort to worry about right now. But we might also consider housing over here for these people. And so maybe... God, we don't really have room for anything over here. Since this land is all fallow anyways. I think that I could conceivably get away with dropping a couple of apartment buildings in here so that the people have places to live. And these jobs should fill in almost instantly. We're going to need more Teamsters to run this stuff. We may also need transit, so let's go ahead and put that in. We'll go with a parking lot off on this side, maybe. I'm starting to wonder if maybe it was getting rid of the parking lots that's causing me so many problems with my Teamsters having trouble getting things around. Over here, it says that there's no road attached to it, when in fact there is. So what I need to do is demolish this road, and then we'll try and fix it. There we go. And so that'll supply us with even more jobs. Well, 5 jobs. Not really quite as many as I wanted, but it'll do for now, I guess. It'll do, pig. And I think I'm going to break the episode off right here. Now, in this area, I'll probably put in cattle ranches or something like that to make this whole upper area a bit more useful to us, and then we'll figure out what we want to do with this land over here in just a moment. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me in the Nerd Castle for another episode of Tropico 5. I look forward to seeing you all in the next episode. Take care out there, everybody, and hi-do as always.